Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Akinlolu Sonya, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and also share with your friends. We started chemistry in our last lecture, and we discussed SI units and prefixes in chemistry. So in today's lecture or class, we're going to talk about working with exponents. And the reason why we're going to be doing this is because in our last lecture, we talked about prefixes that have 10 raised to the power 12 down to 10 raised to the power minus 12. And these are numbers that we define. If you want to know more, you can go back to my last class and you will understand where we started from. So in today's class, we're going to learn how do you work with these numbers. This is something that you also have learned in your in high school or in your elementary school, whatever it is, and they will teach you on how to add exponents. We call this exponents. So when you see a number like this, for example, 10 raised to the power 5, is an exponential number. Exponential number. And usually call it exponents. On your calculator, you're going to see the word EXP, and this also means the same thing as exponential or exponents, something like that. So you can, if you have EXP 5, it means 10 raised to the power 5, for example. But in this class today, we're going to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and then divide exponents. So that is what our class is on today, on how to work with these numbers. So the first one is addition of exponents. And you might be wondering, why are you learning this in chemistry? That's because in chemistry we deal with very small numbers, and same time we deal with very large numbers. We can deal with a small number as small as Planck mass of an electron, or we can deal with large numbers like Planck constant and the rest, or the speed of light, in different situations, or force of gravity, things like that. So they are big numbers, and you need to know how to do calculation on this kind of number. So the first one is addition. So let's say you want to add 1.5 grams, so 1.5 times 10 raised to the power, let's say 10 raised to the power 3 grams, right? You want to add that to 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 2 grams, right? You want to add this together. How do you add this together? It's very simple. First thing first is, when you're doing exponents, your target is to make sure that these two numbers look alike, they're the same. So to make that happen, let me take one of these. I take this one right here, 1.5 times 10 raised to the power 3. I can rewrite this as 1.5 times 10 raised to the power 2 times 10 raised to the power 1. So this is 1,000. So I wrote it 100 times 10, which is 1,000. And then I can now make this, I can times this by this, and then I give me 1.5 times 10 raised to the power 1 times 10 raised to the power 2. So this one now becomes 1.5 times 10 raised to the power 1, which is simple as 10, is 15 times 10 raised to the power 2. So now I've converted this to this. So now I can add the numbers together. So I have 15 times 10 raised to the power 2, I'm going to bracket it, plus 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 2. So when I have this, it's quite easy now. What I have to do now is add these two together. So that is 115 plus 2.3, okay? And then just take one of those. Just take one of it, okay? That's what you gotta do. Just take one, 10 raised to the power 2. Okay, that's how you do it. Just take one. So when you add this together, 15.2.3 is going to give you 17.3, if I'm not mistaken. and that will give me 17.3 times 10 raised to the power 2. So that is your answer for that. And another way you can do that is you can say, if you don't want to do it, you can say let x equal 10 raised to the power 2 because it's common, right? So now you can say 15 times x plus 2.3 times x. So if you do that, 15 times x is 15x. And then you have plus 2.3 times x is 2.3x. So if we add these two together, that gives you 17.3x. But what is x? X is 10 raised to the power 2, right? So you can now rewrite this as 17.3 times 10 raised to the power 2. So you still end up at the same answer, just not to confuse yourself, right? So that's how you add. To add exponents, make sure that you add these together. First thing first is make sure that these exponents are the same. So convert this to the same. And that's what I did here. And then when you have the same number, then you cannot add these numbers together, secondly, and then you cannot pick one of these, and that's going to be your answer. Let's do another example. Say I give you example 2, 3 times 10 raised to the power 5 plus 4 times 10 raised to the power 6. Okay, that's what I gave you. That's what you see on your paper. So to solve this, you can say this is 10 raised to the power 5, this is 10 raised to the power 6. I want to make one of them to be the same. You can choose either one. If I choose this one, for example, if I make this 10 raised to the power 6, that means that I'm going to have 0.3 times 10 raised to the power 6 plus 4 times 10 raised to the power 6. Why not make this 0.3? Because 10 raised to the power 6 means that I have one extra 0 here, and I can take that one extra 0 from this place right here. So if I take that one extra 0 from here and I add it to here, I'm going to have 10 raised to the power 6, and this is going to become 0.3. Okay, so that's how this came to be. If I do that, now I can bracket this off, and then say 4 plus 0.3, and just pick one of the exponent, 10 raised to the power 6. So my answer is going to be 4.3 times 10 raised to the power 6. That is my answer. And I can further convert this one to 10 raised to the power 5, and that will give me 4.3 times 10 raised to the power 5 times 10 raised to the power 1, right? So 10 raised to the power 1 is 10 times 4.3, that is 43 times 10 raised to the power 5. So that's another way you can write this, and that way this is this. It's the same thing. 4.3 times 10 raised to the power 5. If you choose to make this, let's go one step further. If you choose to make this 5 instead of making this 6, that gives you 3 times 10 raised to the power 5 plus, if this is going to be 5, then how do you make that 5? That means you take 1 from here, 110, and add it to this. So that gives you 40 times 10 raised to the power 5. Does that make sense? You're taking 1 because you want this to be 5. You take that 1 from this, take 10 from this and add it to this, and multiply it to it. Sorry, multiply, not add, but multiply it. So that gives you 40. So that's what you have right here. So now that you have the same thing, now you can say 3 plus 4. Okay, 3 plus 40, my bad. 3 plus 40, and then 10 raised to the power 5. So 3 plus 40 is 43 times 10 raised to the power 5. So you see that we arrive at the same answer. So that's how you do addition. The next thing we're going to go to now is subtraction. So in subtraction of exponents, we're going to use the same examples as earlier. So if I have 3 times 10 raised to the power 5 minus 4 times 10 raised to the power 6, how do I do the subtraction? So you're going to do the same thing. You might convert this to 10 raised to the power 6 by taking 10 out of here and multiply it by this, or you can convert this to 5 by taking one of the 10s and adding it to this 10, this 4 right here, or multiplying it to this 4 to become 40. So let's do it both ways. If I convert this to 10 raised to the power 6, so how do I do that? By taking a 10 from here, so that gives me 0.3. When I do that, it's going to change, it's going to drop by 10, times 10 raised to the power 6 minus 4 times 10 raised to the power 6. So when I do that, all I have to do now is minus this, okay, 0.3 minus 4 bracket, and just pick one, times 10 raised to the power 6. So when I do that, 0.3 minus 4, it's going to give me 3.7. So that is 3.7 negative times 10 raised to the power 6. So that is how you solve that. If you want to use another example, let me give you another example. We have 1.5 times 10 raised to the power of, I can say 3 like we did earlier on, minus 2.3, okay, times 10 raised to the power 2. So this is in thousands, this is in 100. This is going to be bigger than this, of course. So to solve that, you want to convert one of them to one of the exponents to be the same. So let's convert this to be the same. So that means we remove 10 from here and add it to this right here, multiply to this. So that is 1.5 times 10, because we've taken one of the 10s. So that will be times 10 raised to the power 2, because we've taken 1. So this is going to be 2 right now, minus 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 2. So 1.5 times 10 is 15 times 10 raised to the power 2 minus 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 2. So now we have the same exponent. So we can use this logic by saying 15 minus 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 2. And if you do the math, you're going to end up with 12.7. So that's 12.7 times 10 raised to the power 2. So that is how you subtract exponents. The minus, you're going to minus this once you have the same exponents. So that's how you do that. Now let's go to the next one, multiplication of exponents. So how do you multiply exponents? Let's go again back to our previous example. We have 3 times 10 raised to the power 5 times 4 times 10 raised to the power 6. So that's what we have. That's the exponents we have. Now, when you're doing multiplication, it's quite different from. It's not so different, but there is something you have to understand. With plus and minus, we just pick one once the exponents are the same. That is for addition and subtraction. But for multiplication, we'll do something slightly different. In this case, you're going to multiply this. So you're going to open a bracket and say 3 times 4, okay? And they're going to write times 10. You're going to add these together, 5 plus 6, okay? So 3 times 4 is 12 times 10 raised to the power 5 plus 6 is 11. So what does that mean when you want to solve multiplication? You multiply the number and then you add the power of the exponent. You add it. This is called the power right here. So you're going to multiply 3 and 4, that's 12, times. You're going to take 10 and then add this together. So that gives you 11. Okay, let's do another example. It looks very simple, doesn't it? Another example, you have 1.5, like the previous one that we have, times 10 raised to the power 3, okay? Then you have times 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 2, okay? That's what you have. So, just like I said earlier on, take these, multiply them together. So that is 1.5 times 2.3. And then take 10, then add up the exponent. So you have 3 plus 2. So if you multiply 1.5 times 2.3, you should get 3.45. So this is 3.45 times 10. 3 plus 2 is 5. So that is your answer. So that's how you solve that. 3 plus 2, 5. So that's how you multiply exponents. It's quite very easy. The next one we're going to go to now is division of exponents. Division. So how do you divide exponents? Let's go back to our previous example, or we can use something different now. Let's say we have 4 times 10 raised to the power 6, okay, divided by 2 times 10 raised to the power, let's say 3. That's all we have. 2 times 10 raised to the power 3. So just like multiplication, we're going to honor the sign and say 4 divided by 2, okay, times 10. But instead of adding these powers, we're going to subtract. So that'll be 10, 6 minus 3. So 6 minus 3. If it's multiplication, it's going to be 6 plus. If it's division, it's going to be 6 minus. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 10 raised to the power 6 minus 3 is 3. And that is how you solve that. That is your answer for division of exponents. Let's take another example. So we have 8.27, okay, times 10 raised to the power 5 divided by, you have, say, 3.25 times 10 raised to the power, we can say 3, for example. Again, we're going to take this and divide them on the sign. So we're going to have 8.27 divided by 3.25. You can do this on a calculator. Times 10. Then because we have division, we're going to have to subtract. So that's 5 minus 3. Okay? That's what you have to subtract it. 5 minus 3. And when you do that, you're going to have, when you do that math, you're going to have 2.54 times 10 from 5 minus 3 is 2. So that is how you solve division. And you may ask yourself, why do I need to learn this? Well, that's because in real life, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you have to solve questions like this. Take for example, speed. The equation for speed is, do you know that'll be distance? Yes. Distance over time. Okay. And the unit of distance here is meter. And the unit of time is second, because we did that in our previous video. So if you have a distance of, we want to find the speed of a ball. We want to find the speed of a ball that is traveling, or say the speed of a bullet that is traveling, that's going to travel. So you shoot a bullet. You shoot a bullet from here, and that bullet went 5,000 meters. Okay, that bullet traveled 5,000 meters in, say, you can say 2 times 10 raised to the power minus 2 seconds. That's very fast. You shoot a bullet, and that bullet went 500 meters in this time. So how do you do the calculation for that? Okay, so how do you find the speed? Well, 5,000 can be written as 5 times 10 raised to the power 3, okay? That's 5,000. And then you have 2 times 10 raised to the power minus 2. This is in meters, this is in seconds. Now you have division. Now we are already here. So I can rewrite this as 5 times 10 raised to the power 3 meters divided by 2 times 10 raised to the power minus 2 seconds. Okay? I can rewrite that. So what do? We do the same thing as like we did earlier. We're going to take this 2 divide them. That will be 5 divided by 2, okay? And then that will be in meters and seconds. Then you have times, going to take 10, 3 minus 2. Like I said, it's division, it have to be minus. So you have minus 2. So when you do that, that's going to give you 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Okay? Times 10, 3 minus times minus is plus, so that's 3 plus 2. Okay? So your answer is going to be 2.5 times 10 to the power 5 meters per second. And that's the speed. That's the speed. So that means that this bullet is traveling at 25 times 10 to the power 4 meters per second. That is extremely fast. If I want to write this out a number without the exponent, that will be 25 meter per second. 4 zeros. That means this bullet is traveling at 250,000 meters per second. So in real life, you're going to be able to use this division of exponent to make your life a lot easier. Okay, you can do that. So that is how you use division of exponent, multiplication of exponents, and all whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to like, share. These are the building blocks for calculation in chemistry. You also use these in mathematics because if you know how to work with numbers very well, in some cases you may not need your calculator to find out something. You may just quickly calculate without a calculator. But these are the building blocks, not just in chemistry, but also in mathematics, in solving mathematical questions that require big numbers or very, very small numbers. If you're new to this channel, subscribe if you have not already done so. If you have done so, don't forget to like. I will appreciate it if you leave a comment. That lets me know that you like my style of teaching. That lets me know that you like this video. And if you need me to maybe speak on a particular subject, you can also leave it in the comment section. I'm going to appreciate it. I love teaching chemistry. It's one of my passions. And if you want me to explain any topic in chemistry, I'm going to add that to my diary and I'm going to work on explaining that. Thank you for watching this video. Catch you in the next video.